rely on the sensation of physical contact. Whether it's resting your hand on a table or holding someone you love, your understanding of the world is built on touch. But if we bypass your senses and plunge past the cellular level, down into the freezing void of the subatomic scale, that intuition collapses. Despite a lifetime of sensory feedback telling you otherwise, you have never actually made physical contact with another object. The human experience of a solid, interconnecting physical world is a biological hallucination. Think about an action as mundane as sitting in a chair. You aren't touching it. You are actually levitating a fraction of a millimeter above its surface. This levitation is dictated by the laws of quantum electrodynamics, and they are uncompromising. To see the scale of the math involved, look at this diagram of an atom. Atoms are 99.999999999% vacuum. If the core of matter, the nucleus, were a cherry sitting on the 50-yard line of a stadium, the electrons orbiting it would be like tiny dust motes buzzing around the absolute highest nosebleed seats. Every inch of space in between is a vacuum. Because atoms make up everything, from a steel beam to a human bone, is a hollow structure. This structural reality imposes a mandatory physical quarantine on every object in the universe, ensuring a gap that no amount of pressure can bridge. So what is actually happening when you press your finger against a glass? You are encountering an invisible force field, electrostatic repulsion. In this schematic, we see the electron clouds of two surfaces pressing together. Because electrons carry a negative electrical charge, they act like identical magnet poles. They repel each other, generating a visible lave of distortion with ever-overlapping. As you try to push the surfaces closer, the atoms fight back. They wage an invisible electromagnetic war, pushing outward to resist your movement. The pressure of this repulsion is so immense that it physically halts all forward momentum long before true contact occurs. What you perceive as hitting a solid barrier is simply your own atoms suffering a microscopic rejection. If true contact is impossible, why do we feel anything at all? The answer lies beneath your skin, where nerve endings capture this electromagnetic pushback, firing rapid electrical impulses up into your brain. Your nerves act as sensors, detecting the exact intensity of the resistance from those opposing electron clouds. Your brain receives this raw data and translates the pressure of a force field into the sensory concepts we recognize as texture, hardness, or warmth. Your sense of touch is an evolutionary coping mechanism, a way for your mind to navigate a universe built of floating, repelling force fields. This scientific isolation runs counter to our psychological needs. We rely on physical grounding and intimate connection to stay sane. Which raises a hypothetical question. What would happen if you bypassed electrostatic repulsion and forced two atomic nuclei to genuinely touch? To see the result, we have to look to 1945, when scientists at the Los Alamos Project prepared to force the issue. This title card records the exact date and location of the Trinity test. It documents the moment humanity finally broke the quantum quarantine. Possessing the technology to force atomic nuclei to physically overlap results in nuclear fusion. True atomic contact does not result in a physical embrace. As seen in this photograph, it instantly converts matter into pure destructive energy. If a human being could overcome atomic repulsion and truly hug another person, the overlap of their atoms would trigger a thermonuclear detonation. The scale of this destruction demonstrates that the microscopic gap between atoms is not an inconvenience, it is a survival mechanism. The universe didn't design electrostatic repulsion to isolate us, but to protect us from spontaneous annihilation. The illusion of touch is the ultimate cosmic shield. It is the only barrier keeping your physical form from instantly converting into cosmic dust. At the macro level, we exist as fragile waves of energy, safely suspended in a vacuum, interacting only with phantoms. We are ghosts navigating a phantom architecture. We hallucinate a solid reality out of the void, simply to survive.